All right. I think we've done a problem like this one. So hopefully we can remember. We're in lesson 1-6 of Algebra 2, and we're doing the fifth problem that I've assigned, at least at this point. And my other number that sometimes I like to know when I'm doing these problems is 22. All right, so for this problem, solve this system. If you remember I think it was the first one I assigned in this lesson, when we looked at two of these equations, and I think it was the outside two, we added them together, what's called the elimination method. And when you combine two equations by adding or subtracting them and variables drop out, that's why they call it you eliminate a variable. So let's see what happens here. If I'm doing this for myself, I just look at them. So this x and this negative x would cancel when you add them together. This y and negative y, same thing. So then I'm going to end up with the z, negative 2z added together is negative z, and negative 3 and 1 is negative 2. Now, and so then if negative z is negative 2, positive z is positive 2, or multiply both sides by negative 1, however you like to think of that. If you would rather, I wrote it all out. So normally, then you would see it as two equations, or you'd see your x plus, this just feels like it takes longer. So that's why I do it the way that I showed you there, with just looking at the two equations and combining them. Otherwise, you can write them right out all over, so the two of them are side by side or above and below each other here. I'm just copying the top equation and the bottom equation, because usually you'll see them written like this. And then notice again, if our x's are added and then our y's are added. So we're going to add the two equations together, elimination method. X and negative x cancel, y and negative y cancel, z and negative 2z, negative 1z, or just negative z. You don't need the 1 if you would rather not be there. And negative 3 and 1 is negative 2. So if negative z is negative 2, positive z is 2. Now, in order to find the next variable, we have to combine two different equations. So then in this case, I think I would do the top two, because the y and the negative y's are going to cancel. So x and 3x is going to be 4x. And then z, and I think that's a positive 5. Let me see. Nope, it's a negative. Good thing I checked. All right, so then z and negative 5z added together is a negative 4z, right? Positive 1 and negative 5. And then 3 and negative 3 is going to equal a negative 12. You know, what I'm looking at here is that this would look a lot simpler if I just divided everything by a 4, because I'd have x minus z equals negative 12 divided by 4, negative 3. All right, then we figured out already that z was 2 from here. So if I put that in here, well, what's x got to be? What minus 2 is negative 3, or if you'd rather, add the 2 to both sides to get the x alone, and we're going to get x equals negative 1. All right, and then after we have those two, if we take any one of the equations, I'm going to take the top equation because it looks the simplest to me. I'll rewrite it over here. The top equation says x plus y plus z equals negative 3. At least that's what I see. Look, that's what I see. I'm going to put in my negative 1 for the x. I don't know y yet, so I'll leave the y there. And then my z was 2 up here. And so what's y going to have to be? Negative 1 and 2 is 1, right? Those are positive 1. Subtract that to the other side. And I'm going to have y equals negative 4. You can do some things to check these if you want, but I'll just check it by putting it in and have the computer tell us if we did it right. So y was negative 4. Whoops, it didn't go in there. What's going on here? Put it right there. Y is -4. Tab to, whoops, maybe that's what I did the last time. Get back up here. Y is -4. That's not Y though. The first one's supposed to be X, right? Let's start with X. X is -1. Click to get into the next box. It doesn't tab. Y was -4. And the last one, Z, was 2. Sometimes the hardest part about this, sometimes it feels like, is just getting it to the computer to work right to enter the answer you want. So let's see how we did. Nice work. All right, so hopefully that helps you, and good luck when you do your problem.